where we are. I want you to consider that today. And I want you to consider about what's ahead of you. There's a term in the book of Isaiah that I want to expound upon by way of a message this morning. Turn with me, turn with me to the book of Isaiah. Chapter number 35. There's so much good down in here, but I want to try to narrow my focus. There's really just one word I want to bring us to Jesus and expound. Isaiah 35. I want to read to you 3 verses. Follow along with me, would you? In Isaiah 35, the 35th chapter of Isaiah, verse number 8. And the Word of God says, "And an highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness." Everybody say the way of holiness.
The way of holiness.
It shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those. For who?
Those.
For those. For who? For those. Who are those? Who are those? Who are those? Ask me who are those. I'm glad you asked. It's us. We are those. It's not for everybody, but for those. You know, those are not these. And these are not those, right? Aren't you glad you're those? Aren't you glad you're a part of those? It shall be for those, the wayfaring men. Though fools shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, neither any ravenous beast shall go upon thereupon. It shall not be found there. But the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of the Lord shall return, and they shall come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads, and they shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. And the word of the Lord is already blessed. So the word that I want to talk to you about this morning is found in the first verse that I read to you, verse number 8. And it says, "The way of holiness, the unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those," who those? Us, right? The wayfaring men. It's that word wayfaring we don't use every day. It's that word wayfaring that I want to turn my focus to. It's that word wayfaring that I want to bring some expansion and expounding. Would that be all right this morning? If I could do that, then I'm going to do what the Lord told me to do, and then I'm going to get out of the way, and we're going to have communion, and we can have some fellowship, and we can go home. But I'll talk to you this morning about the wayfaring men. Wayfaring men. Now, don't get it twisted, because when it says men, most times when the word of the Lord says men, it's inclusive of men and women. Men in this particular instance means mankind, so let's not get hung up on the term men. It's not a gender saying, it's a group of people. Are you with me?
Amen.
Say amen.
Amen.
Or say ouch. Okay, amen. The amens have it. So the word wayfaring literally means those that travel on foot. Those that travel on foot. Why is that significant? Well, when you're traveling on foot, the most important thing about traveling on foot is that you're traveling. Are you with me? It connotes that there is a destination that you have in mind, right? And there's a path that's going to get you there. If you have a destination in mind, you're not wandering. It did not say the wandering men, it said the wayfaring men. People that wayfare are traveling by foot. And traveling just kind of denotes, and it also connotes that you're going somewhere. Tell somebody, say, I'm going somewhere. See, I say that to you because sometimes it may feel like you're walking around in circles. Sometimes it may feel like, somebody say feel like. It may feel like maybe like your feet are stuck in the mud. You might feel like you're spinning your wheels. You might feel like you're not going anyplace. You might feel like you're walking, but you're going nowhere fast. Well, thanks be to God that gives us the victory that you are going someplace. So somebody say, I'm going someplace. I wish somebody would get with me here. See, it's really, really important that you understand that the path that you're starting out on, you're traveling. In other words, you're making ground. In other words, every time you take a step, two things happen. You're one step closer to your goal and one step away from where you started from. Because you're traveling. You're putting one foot in front of the other. Every step, I don't care if it's a baby step or a giant step or a leap, every step that you make is away from where you used to be. I need to preach this thing and I need to get on out of the way. I need y'all to be with me. I need you to understand that you are going somewhere. And because you're wayfaring, you're traveling by foot. You're not traveling by a vehicle. You're not waiting on a bus. You're not waiting on a cab or Uber. What you're doing is you are taking the steps yourself. How grateful are you to God that He didn't make it so that you had to wait on anybody to get closer to Him? You don't have to wait on anything. You don't have to wait on some edifice or some institution or something to move you, for you to get in a wheelbarrow, and that wheelbarrow moves you closer to God. Baby, you want to get closer to God? Walk. Put one foot in front of the other. Take a step away from where you are and towards the Lord. He'll give you direction. He'll give you the path. The path is already clear. Not only is it clear, it's been laid down. The foundation of it has been established. And then it's been paved. The Bible said Jesus laid the foundation and He opened up the way. What way? Well, there's a way that's talked about in the book of Isaiah, chapter number 35, verse 8. A highway. You want to get to California, you got to get on the highway. Well, depending on how you want to get there. You can take the back roads if you want to. You got to get on the QEW. Y'all won't talk back to me. You might have to cross a bridge depending on where you are. But if you want to reach your destination, you have to understand that you have to get on the proper highway. If you get on the wrong highway, you're going to head in the wrong direction. Somebody talk back to me. Amen. There is a way that leads to righteousness. There is a way that leads to God. There is a way that leads to your destiny. There is a way that leads to your purpose. There is a way that has your identity in mind because it was placed there on the highway before the foundation of the world. And guess what? God wants everyone to find that way. But once you find it, stay in it. Once you find it, know that you're walking, know that you're accomplishing something. It may not seem like you're there, but you're on the highway. On the highway means if you stay in this way, you're going to reach your destination. You will inevitably reach your destination if you're on the right highway. If you're over in Canada and you're trying to get to California and you're on QEW4, you're on the wrong way. Somebody said, you're on the wrong way. Well, what you need to do is you need to turn around. See? Because the destination you arrive at is not the destination that you want to get to. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to get directions. See, the thing about the enemy likes to place a McDonald's and a Burger King and a Wendy's and all kind of restaurants on QEW4. Because you can pull off the highway and, have a real good time. And depending on the good time you have, you may not ever get on the highway. You might not ever turn around. You might not ever listen. There ain't nothing wrong with Kentucky Fried Chicken. There ain't nothing wrong with Burger King. What I'm saying is, don't make your life outside of the highway. Don't make your life on the off-ramp. Say, well, you know, these are pretty good fertile area. I think I'll put down roots here. No, don't put down roots. The thing about a wayfaring person, because they're traveling by foot, they don't have time to build a house. People that are wayfaring are traveling. And guess when they stop?
When they get there.
They stop when they get there. They stop when they get to when they reach their destination. Has anybody reached their destination yet? I know that I have not. So until I reach my destination, guess what? I'm going to press toward the mark of the prize of a high calling. Because I haven't received it yet. I'm not there yet. Oh, there's some wonderful things along the way. God has certainly blessed me. God has certainly anointed me. God has certainly enlightened me. Now let's talk about that light for a second. Do you not know that Jesus is the light of the world?
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the light of the world, right?
Yes.
But you have to think of the light of the world. You have to think of the world as being a dark place. Why would anyone want to stay in a dark place? Everybody, including moths, are attracted to light. That's not the message I could really go there for a minute. But light is attractive. You see people that are all, hi, how are you? That's attractive. They're light, bubbly, you know. I don't know you, but nice meeting you. People that are dark, hello, would you please step this way? I'm going to show you and give you direction. Oh my God, you're my guide? Can I have another guide, please? Is this the only tour? Went to the museum and it was the worst guide. I had the worst time because the guide was like, over here you will find the most artifact. Listen, get excited about something. Jesus is the light of the world, but the light is like a flashlight that shines in a dark place. It shows you where you're going. And Jesus, being Jesus, is also the Word. In the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was God. So the Word is our light, right? David said he's a light to our feet, a light to our path. The Word is God. The Word is the light, and it shows us which way to go. It shows us how to stay on the path. Even when it gets dark around us, we don't worry about what time it is or how late it is because we can always see because we have a light. Yes?
Amen.
And we have a light to utilize to stay on the path until the path helps us not only have a light but to become the light. When you become the light, that's not just for you to stay on the path, but becoming the light shows others this is the way. A few days ago, my daughter was, they were trying to advertise these farms that they, the scary farms and stuff like that, and you have to pay money. They actually charge people to scare them. Who likes being scared? Well, nobody does. But these places charge people, give me some money and I'll scare you. Okay. And they're not cheap. $18 and $20. And you go in. That's exciting. People pay money for that? Come on. You need therapy after. What happened to you? I went to a scare house and now I'm nervous about everything. Then you got to pay money to go see a therapist, and you got to pay money to get in recovery. Prescription drugs for the rest of your life. I need a volume. Why? To calm my nerves. The whole thing started you paying money for the wrong thing. Let's be sensible about this. Wayfaring. We're traveling. We're putting one foot in front of the other. It's significant to say, and also to connote that as you're traveling, as you're putting one foot in front of the other, when I started out, that piano was close to me, right? But the more that I travel, the more that I walk, the more the piano is behind me. There's more distance between me and the past. I'm a wayfaring man. I'm a person that's traveling. But the more I travel, the more, with every step that I make, the further away from me my past is, right? Now, I'm going to illustrate something. And I'm going to need a couple of volunteers. Thank you, Chris, for volunteering. And Addison, you can volunteer too. You guys, I got 2 girls. Now, I want you to pay very, very close attention. Now, this is a very, very good, it's a cute little shirt that we got. You're going to be the past, okay? Okay, good. That couch is nice and comfortable.
Yes.
That's your future.
Perfect.
Listen, but you can't sit down yet.
Okay.
You gotta make your way there. Are you tired?
Not yet.
Okay. See, I get tired. When I get tired, I want to sit down, but I can't sit down when there's nothing to sit on.
Sit on.
Yes. So turn around. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take one step. Hang on a second. You gotta be mean and growly and give me the hands. Give me the hands. Now, what I want you to do, because she's tired, but you want her to fall out, so you can't let her get to the seat, right? Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to stand right here. Stand right here. No, don't step there. Just stand right here. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to get Chris's back. Just get her back. Don't creep up on her now. Just reach her. Right? Now, I want you to give her back pain, and I want you to give her stress, and I want you to give her all of these things. Just kind of. Right? Now, can you feel stuff nipping at your back?
Yes.
Okay. This is what your past does. Right? Can you reach your head? The past messes with your head. The past. Look. Keep doing it. Faster. The past tries to make you bring your attention not toward the goal, your future, your rest. Keep going. The past tries to distract you until you turn around and say, "Stop it! Leave me alone!" Right? Don't stop. Keep talking to your past. What do you tell your past?
Stop it. Leave me alone.
Okay, you're gonna say it like that?
No, stop it and leave me alone.
See, what the past wants you to do, is to turn around and engage. But which way are your feet pointed?
This way.
Which way is that?
Back.
Toward the past.
Yeah.
The more that you turn around, the more that you're engaged with your past. Keep going. Now you're arguing with the past, right? Now you're wrestling with the past. Now look.
No, I don't want to argue at her.
Right?
Yeah. I don't want to argue with you.
So, okay. Give me some, listen. So now you're in warfare.
Yes.
With the past. Now, which means your wayfare or your traveling has been paused. Your forward motion has ceased. And at this point and at this time, because of lack of progress, where were you headed?
I was heading to my future.
So that you could rest.
Rest, yes.
But now you're more tired.
Yes.
Now you're fatigued. Now you're worn out. You don't even feel like
moving forward.
You don't feel like moving forward. Do you see how this works?
Yes.
Do you see how this works?
Yes.
But who are you?
Child of God.
And the child of God, there's a path and a highway that's reserved for you, and it's reserved for the wayfarers.
Yes.
Wayfarers don't wrestle with the past. You know what wayfarers do, by definition?
They travel.
They travel. They walk. So what do you have to do with your past?
Let it go.
You got to let it go.
Turn around.
Turn around because you were on highway
And walk.
4. You need to be on highway 2.
Right. And walk.
And put one foot in front of the other. Try to reach it. Now she can't even reach it.
And I'm resting.
Because the past is the past.
Right.
The past can't be your present unless you're engaged with it. So when you let go and you turn around and you begin to do what the Word of God suggests that you are, your true identity is a mover. Your true identity is a traveler. Your true identity is a person that takes one foot and puts it in front of the other. Thank you. Come on, give a little hand clap. It's not just a matter of letting go of the past. It's not just a matter of not being distracted. It's a matter of understanding that I am a wayfarer. And by definition, my identity in God is to put one foot in front of the other. And in so doing, I will meticulously, gradually, and effectively leave my past behind. Every step, no matter how small, every step, no matter how baby or small, but little, I'm not making, it's not your job to criticize your forward motion or how slow that you're moving. The most important thing for you to understand is that you're moving. And moving is godly. Moving is getting closer and closer and closer to your goal. And guess what? If you are on the right path and you're moving, guess what's going to happen inevitably? Inevitably, as long as you're moving, you're going to reach your goal. As long as you're moving, you're going to reach that top. As long as you're moving, you're going to rest. As long as you're moving, every promise that God has promised is going to be yours. As long as you're moving. You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. You can't complain, I don't have it yet, I don't have it. You're going to have it. It's already been promised. And if you stay on this path, there's nothing else that can happen. Because listen, if you turn not to the left or to the right, if you're not distracted, if you're not tempted off the path, guess what happens on this path? A highway shall be there, and it shall be called the way of holiness. And at the end of that path is God Himself welcoming you home. This is the way home. This is the way to God. This is the way to reconnection with Him. This is the way to eternity. And once you get there, because you're going to get there, because there's a path. It's a highway. If you stay in that way, moving one step at a time, not only are you leaving your past behind you, but your present is ever connecting with the future, because your future, your path has only one destination. And that road only leads to one place. At the end of that road, you shall see God. And on that path, He's going to welcome you home. Because He's the one that called you to that path. He's the one that started you on that path. He's the one at the end of that path. And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. They're going to call you a lot of things. It doesn't really matter what they call you. What most importantly is what God calls you. And the path that you're on, you might be called a sucker, you might be called a square, you might be called lame, you might be called a lot of things, but this is the way of holiness. Oh, you think you're holy? I don't think I'm holy. I'm on a path that's leading to holiness. Oh, I got mistakes still in me, but I'm trying to purify myself while I'm on this path. And I'm not going to stay here, and I'm not going to wait here. I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. That means every day is better. Every day is sweeter. Every day brings me closer to my destination. My destiny is in God, and I can't wait to get there. I don't always feel like running. I don't always feel like jogging. I don't always feel like walking. But as long as I keep it moving on this path, guess where I'm going to go? I'm going to reach Him. The unclean shall not pass over it. I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about sinners on this path, because sinners don't even know the way. It's my job really to show them the way, but I don't have to worry about that. It shall be for those. Who? Those. The wayfaring men. The fools shall not err. Listen, people that have false religion and false, they're not on this path. They're on another path. And they will show you clearly. You might have a friend that calls himself a Christian, but they will show you clearly that they're on another path. There's only one, but they're on another path. Straight is the way. That is to say, narrow is the way that leads to life. The path to destruction has 18 lanes because so many people are going. There's so much traffic. They keep broadening the path to make room for more because it's leading to destruction. The road that's leading to life is very, very narrow. So narrow, in fact, you don't have room for much baggage. So narrow, in fact, that sometimes, you guys know about the needle-eye gate. The needle-eye gate is a gate in Israel. They basically make a hole in the wall for camels to go through. And in order for the camel to get through, you have to take everything off the camel's back. It's to keep smuggling down, and it's to keep thievery and things like that. But in order to get through this hole, just for security, back then what they did was they had to take everything off the camel's back in order for the camel to get down on his knees and just kind of squeeze through. Because it's so narrow. There's no room for baggage. Sometimes this path in the Lord is going to require you. There's some things you want to take with you because you found some valuable things, some things that you really, really like, some things that you really, really enjoy. But listen, would you trade a temporary joy for an eternal joy? God's not going to ask you to leave anything behind when He doesn't have in mind for you something greater. I've heard it argued that there are pleasures on the earth because God put them there. And if it wasn't there for me to enjoy, why would God have created it? Well, some of these pleasures are just plain temptations and distractions. There are some things that are pleasurable, that are pleasing to the flesh, that are designed to be temptations to us. But thankfully, we don't walk by our flesh, right? That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and it minds the thing, it pays attention to the things of the flesh. So we don't get caught up with all the baggage and all the things. You know, back in the day, I used to enjoy this and I used to enjoy that. Listen, it's not the enjoyment that's wrong. It's not the things that you enjoy that are wrong. It's the distraction of your complete focus from what God has for you that's better. And you will never know what God has for you being better if you're distracted by all the mundane little things that are holding you back, distracting you from the path. You have to value, hear me, you have to value the goodness of the Lord more than the goodness of any other thing. There's things that you can drink that'll make you feel good, but you have to value the goodness of the Lord more. There's things that you can smell that'll make you feel good, but you have to value the goodness of the Lord higher, further, more valuable. You have to put your trust and you have to invest the return on the investment of the deed and the time of your life. Give God more consideration than you do things. Well, Pastor Mark, what's wrong with this? God made it. God did make it. God made a lot of things. God made arsenic, but I don't see people shoving it down their throat. I don't make the argument. I used to because I was younger. I was less. God, I lacked the wisdom that God has given me right now. I used to have a thing, like a list of all of the things that is just wrong for you to do. That's wrong, this is a sin, that's a sin, and if you do that, you're wrong, and if you do this, you're wrong. You know what God showed me was a more excellent way? More excellent, more valuable, that is richer, fuller, deeper. Why would I trade something greater for something lesser? Why would I pick up a habit of something low when God wants to give me something that's high? I want to go deeper, but I don't want to distract from the message. There are a myriad of things that we can involve ourselves in where it may be a gray area. The Bible doesn't say anything against it. What the Bible does say is God is greater. Greater than what? Greater than, talk back to me, anything. And since God is greater than anything, I'm not going to let anything come between me and God. Matter of fact, let me ask you a question. What shall separate us from God? Tribulation, something bad happening to you? Oh man, it's something bad. No, he's got something greater. And you'll never experience if you let something separate you. Distress. Huh? What kinds of things are you going to let pleasure? Oh man, I like me a little. Nah, it ain't like it's at a place where, I can't control it, but I do like me a little. Are you going to let that? I'm not going to point the finger at you to ridicule or to put you down or to browbeat you to say you know better. But you have better available to you. Why would you settle for something less? Well, I like it. I understand you like it. But have you tasted and seen that the Lord is gooder than the good that you're trying to enjoy right now? Have you tasted and seen? And if you have, and you're still compromising, and you're still falling back, and you're still settling, I got no words for you. I don't know about you, but I want the best. I don't know about you, but I want the highest. I want everything that God has for me. And I want it so bad. I want to make room for all that He has so that I'm not busy carrying the stuff that I like. It keeps me a little. Why? Because I like it. How about we have our pockets and our cups empty so that we can receive from the Lord, so that when He showers down blessing, all that we have are the blessings of the Lord. Why would we walk around with 7/10 of the blessing of the Lord when we can have 10/10? We just got to make room with the rest of our lives. If you're traveling by foot, if you're a wayfarer, you don't travel with a whole lot of baggage because you can't carry a whole lot of stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen a backpacker or a person that's traveling foot traffic, or they're taking. They're traversing a mountain climbers. You don't see a mountain climber with a mattress on the back. Mountain climbers don't have time. They can't carry mattresses. You don't see mountain climbers carrying refrigerators. Oh, don't get me wrong, I like refrigerators. But if somebody's traveling and climbing a mountain, they're going to carry the bare minimum. There's a lot of creature comforts they could have with them, but they don't. Listen, the more you carry, the less you can climb. Because that weight starts holding you back. On this path of holiness, this highway that God has given to us, what you want to do is carry the bare minimum. You don't want to bring a whole lot of stuff. You want to bring a whole lot of baggage. You want to leave that by. As a matter of fact, you might even want to lay aside every. Can I preach? You want to lay aside every weight, not just the ones that you can do without. You want to get to the place where you have nothing because God's going to give you everything. That's His promise. That's the destination. That's what He's calling us to. He's calling us to a place of complete and total satisfaction. Have you been there yet? It's inevitable on this path. Keep moving on this path. God has the best of the best of the best of His waiting for you at the end of this path. Let me finish this up. No lion shall be there on the path. There's no predators on this path. Why? Because God rebukes the devourer for your sakes. As long as you're on this path, you're following the rules of this path, you're staying on this path, God rebukes things. Listen. No weapon that's formed against you can prosper. They're going to try it, but they can't prosper, they can't succeed because you're on the path. What about the fools? Well, it says, though fools shall not err there. There's fools out there now around the path. What you going to do with that fool? You going to stop and argue with the fool? Let the fool talk while you walk. Let the fool talk while you walk. And while you walk, you find that you're walking away from
A fool.
the fool. The Bible says if you argue with a fool, you look foolish. You sound foolish. Let that fool be right there. Let that fool run his mouth. And you keep on walking. You keep on wayfaring. You keep on moving forward on the path of righteousness. No lion shall be there, no ravenous beast shall go thereupon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed, folk with testimonies like yours. Folk with encouragement like you got for them. They got some for you. Somebody helped you out and made you remember, wait. You can't slow down. You can't wait on nobody. I want you to remember what's at the end of this path. And at the end of this path is God himself. I can't wait to get there. Can't wait. Can't wait. And the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs. Why they singing? Because they're happy. They're so happy that they're on their way because of what's at the end of the path. Every eye shall see him. I want to see him face to face. I want to. But what about myself? Well, there's no condemnation to them that which are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. There's no condemnation for those that are on this path. Those that are on the other path, they're going to be condemned and they don't have any hope. That's why they're always depressed. They're always down. This path right here leads to light and life. And with every step, you get a little bit warmer and a little bit brighter. Take another step, a little bit warmer and a little bit brighter. Take another step, a little bit warmer and a little bit. And guess what? The warmer and the brighter you get, the wiser you get. The smarter you get. The fear of the Lord, the respect of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You're just getting started. Great God Almighty. The ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy, everlasting joy on their heads. Why? Because that's the kind of good. God doesn't have temporary joy. He has everlasting. The Bible says Jesus, for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross. They grabbed him by the hands and put nails in it. He said, that's all right, because joy is set before me. The joy of the Lord. Well, I'm tired. Guess what? They put him in the grave, but the joy of the Lord was yet his strength. It was yet his strength so that he rose from the grave and kept it moving. And the Bible said now, he's seated at the right hand of the Father. Do you understand? There's nothing that they could have done to him that would have held him back from getting to the right hand of the Father. There's nothing that they said, all the put-downs, the scourgings, the beatings. There's nothing that slowed him down from the path of obedience because he was going to stay on that path because he knew the joy. Please understand that you're going somewhere. A wayfaring person has a destination. They start out on the path because they're not just exploring. They're not just meandering. They have a destination in mind. We're going somewhere. This highway leads somewhere. And because God set it out, he set the destination to himself. They shall obtain joy and gladness. They shall upon who? Those that are on this path. You're going to get joy and gladness, and that's all you're going to get. Let's read this all you're going to get. Well, let's read this last part. And sighing. Y'all know what sighing is? When's the last time you sighed? Not long ago, last night? Guess what? Sighing and sadness shall flee. Because you're on the path and you're putting one foot in front of the other and you're leaving your past behind, but your present Your present is never a thing of the present. You are constantly making your present your past by moving one foot in front of the other, thereby showing the distance between you and the destiny that God has locked into you. The destination of all God's children is himself. Jesus said, I go to where to prepare a place for you. If it were not so, I would have told you. In my Father's house is a couch and a house and a place for you to dwell eternally. Don't you want to live there? Don't you want to go there? Don't you want to be there? A highway shall be there, and it shall be called the way of holiness. Stick to the path. Stick to the plan. Everybody.